everybody. A warm welcome to you all. Glad that you're all attending our webinar this morning. My name is Shauna from AVASK, and I'm delighted to be joined by Christel from e-Comas, one of our favorite partners, Natalia and Hussem from AVASK. So let me situate AVASK before we start off, and for our newcomers. We are an e-commerce tax and advisory firm. Our clients are e-commerce sellers globally, selling all of their products and services around the world. So what we're doing today in our webinar is we're going to show you some real life cases, let you have a little bit of a view of the sectors and the diversities of all that we're dealing with in our daily day-to-day. And thrilled to have Christel join us from e-Comas, the web agency partner, who's going to highlight in these case studies just the importance of the partnership and what we're doing in terms of delivering multiple tax and fiscal representation and our services around the world and global compliance. Okay, so the aim is to showcase the international side of what we're doing. And thanks to this webinar, we hope that you're going to learn a little bit from the session, and we look forward then to having discussions with you afterwards. So let me kick off, introduce you to Natalia and Christel, and they're going to take you through the first couple of case studies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shauna. Thank you. Yeah, as Shauna said, my name is Natalia. I'm one of the account managers here at AVASK, and it's a pleasure having Christel on here as well. Christel, I don't know if you want to give a brief introduction of what you do at e-Comas.
Thank you for having me today. So I'm Christel. I'm the head of partnership at e-Comas. For those who doesn't know e-Comas yet, we are a digital agency. We help clients to grow on Amazon and other big marketplaces like Cdiscount, Walmart, Bol. We have 4 agencies today based in India, in Madagascar. The main one is in Europe, in Luxembourg, just the head office of Amazon. And we just opened a new office in New York. What we do for our client, it's 2 core services. One is consulting. So this is for brands who need more data to enter to a new market with a new product, to know the price in this market. So we create for them a workshop to give them all the data they need to take the right decision. And the second core services is account management. We take care of your account from A to Z, from cataloging, advertising like PPC, DSP, and social media, and also all the troubleshooting. So if you need to know more, you have the QR code somewhere here. Just contact e-Comas. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, we'll go ahead and start. As we mentioned, the best way for us to describe our services and how we can help is showing you what we've done with previous clients. So we'll start with our first case. This is what we're going to cover today. As Shauna correctly said at the beginning, there's going to be 4 different cases. All of them sell something different. All of them are incorporated in different countries. So we wanted to give you a broad idea of all the different platforms that you can sell on and how we can help you from there. So our first case that we have here is actually our own e-Comas partner. They joined us recently. They had their VAT numbers already, but I think they just found out how our services work, and I believe they enjoyed it so much that they switched over. Christel, I don't know if you want to give your perspective on why e-Comas made that change from their provider to us.
Yes, sure. So we discovered AVASK during a show in 2021, and we start to speak about the possibility to work together to offer more services to our clients, because taxes and law was not really our main job at e-Comas. And we start to introduce 2 to 3 clients, and everybody was happy with the services. So we thought that it could be nice also that we try your services. We work directly together with you. It was not that different for me because I was already speaking with you every month. So this year we decided to do a shift, and all our retail account, all the brands we are taking care of will be under AVASK. Which is nice for us is that we have a specific dashboard in the one we can see all our clients, which is really good to follow up with all of them. And also our communication, I think it's great that we can try your services before selling them. It's like a trust for us. Thank you.
Great. I mean, there's nothing better than be able to actually work with the partners that we have and be able to help them in that way. So it's been great working with you, Christel. But as we mentioned, you're not tied in to the partner that you do your registrations with. You can change. So we just signed the power of attorneys and managed to switch over the VATs to AVASK, and it's been working well. So we do have that portal that Christel mentioned where you can see all your VAT filings, which make it so easy for the client. So that's something that all our clients would receive. And as we mentioned, we have constant contact with e-Comas, not only for their own account, but for all their clients. So you will have that point of contact that you can speak to, ask any questions, keep updated on their requirements. So this particular one, we did the fiscal representation in the UK, which was necessary for their VAT. And we took over their compliance services that they had with their current agent. So it's been working amazing. As per any client, we send the quotation, we sign the contracts, and then we become their agents. You'll always have a point of contact, whether it's by email, calendar, phone, whichever one you prefer. And we do have offices around the world, so you can speak to someone in your own time zone, which is always great. And I mean, everyone on this call speaks several languages, so you will have someone that you can speak to in your own native language as well. So it's been great. I mean, Christel, what has been your experience up to now? We've been working for a couple months now, and hopefully lots of years to come.
I have to say it was a big job because for sure we are selling in all the country with a lot of different category. So thank you for your global support on that particular case because we are selling different products in a lot of different country. So it was not an easy job for you. Thank you. And also for the clarity of your demand. It's always good for us to understand what you need and make sure we can reply to you in a short time. Thank you.
Amazing. No, thank you. And of course, we can help with any categories, any countries. Depending on the client, we'll obviously arrange specific compliance for them. So we'll make sure that we have that consultation right from the offset all the way through, and the client will have exactly what they need. So then we'll switch over to case 2. So before meeting with AVASK, we obviously analyzed their situation. This one particular was selling household appliances, so we can cover all categories. There's no limits to where AVASK can offer services on. And they wanted VAT services in all 6 EU countries, so the pan-European program. There was a few challenges with this client. Obviously, we had to be compliant as quickly as possible, and we needed to be responsive, which we always are. So, Christel, any background information on this particular client?
So again, this one we had a request from that specific client from Romania selling electrical product. And to be honest with you, we didn't know the challenge that was behind this category. And thanks to AVASK, we discovered a lot. And I think he contacted us in August. So he wanted to change for 2023. So AVASK did everything possible to make sure that now it's December and we are ready to start a new year with this client under AVASK. So you did well and quick on that part.
Amazing. And as we mentioned, obviously electrical products is a hot topic at the moment because there are new regulations in place for this particular category, and that's EPR. So AVASK can assist with EPR regulations as well, not just VAT. So that's why this particular client was so important to us, to make sure that they have all the regulations in place coming up. And 2023 is going to come with new regulations as well. So if anyone does sell any products that they're a bit unsure about, they can contact us and we can help them. So as Christel mentioned, we connected with this client in August. We decided exactly what they needed, always in communication. The beauty with AVASK is that you have access to our calendars, so you can always book in a call, and you have an account manager that's always at your disposition. So it's great. And this client has been absolutely amazing. The communication with them is perfect. All the contracts were signed immediately, and we could start with both VAT and EPR. So it's been great with this one. Christel, I don't know if you've had any insights as to how the services has been going since August.
No, I'm just thinking about saying that your knowledge helps us also to know in advance what we can start to sell and say to our client to make sure that they are ready on time. You heard about all this new law in Europe, and it was great for us to start to inform everybody. We did some webinar about this, some blog, so all our clients are really happy with our communication.
Amazing. And I think that's the beauty with working with two partnerships like this. We can inform you with all the updates. You don't have to do your own research, and then you can inform your own clients. So the partnership has been working great, and the clients have been amazing. So aside from that, I will hand over to Shauna for case 3, which is a US company this time.
Great. Well, thank you both. Thank you both. Those were really interesting cases. Now we're going to bring you over to a US client. Again, introduced through e-Comas. So with this one, we had to accompany a business newly incorporated and expanding into Europe for the first time. So challenging there for the client. And I'll let Hussam remembers it well. So I'll let you speak about that one.
Yeah, so in this case, our client needed to be registered in UK and in Spain for VAT numbers, declarations and compliance services. In addition, they wanted also advisory support by AVASK.
Yeah.
For the challenges, since it's their first expansion into Europe, they had to prepare it well, and our client was searching for some expert advisory services. And they found AVASK, who is present in US and Europe, to link to the two continents.
Exactly. Yeah, that was really critical for the client, was to have a provider that really knew each continent. So we'll move on to a little bit of the detail in this case. So again, you'll see here what we do is we always have a very important meeting to kick off. So that was in August this year. That permitted us to scope the requirements, pull in all of the needs of the client, make sure that we got a roadmap together for this client, give them the steps, be very clear on who was doing what. Okay, then we bring them on to the quotation process and so on, which is very automated and very straightforward with us.
As Shauna said, it's one of the clients of our partner e-Comas, and we were able to offer preferred rates in this case. When we received the approval from the client, we submitted the LOE, letter of engagement, which clearly states the needs of the client. Then the client signs the LOE and the code. Finally, the invoice is generated automatically and sent to client for payment. Then from August, so as we offered to our client a dedicated BDA and consultant tax officer to assist them on the VAT registrations and filings. We provide more assistance by keeping our client notified and informed.
Yeah. Okay. So again, delivering on promises. This is something that we're able to do because we're all on the same system. So the different teams can communicate. So the person that's dedicated to the VAT certificates is in connection with the compliance officer. A next step. So once the filing, once of all the compliance issues have to be dealt with, our teams can really see clearly who's doing what and take the next steps with the clients. So again, this is what we consider a secret of happy clients, is that we were, first of all, reachable. They can call us, they can email us, and they can get the information and keep up to speed. It makes it also easier for our clients to be proactive with us, okay, because the roadmap means that we situate who's doing what all through the process. We try and give timelines when we can. In some jurisdictions we can be fairly accurate in knowing what a VAT number will take in terms of time to obtain. Other markets, more challenging. Certain countries are a little bit longer. So again, we're very transparent with the clients when we can be. We try to make sure that, we meet expectations. But again, we're connected with the tax authorities in the countries where we're providing VAT, and we bring the client up to speed with what's going on in all of those markets. So again, here was a US client, a happy one. Let's see if Christel remembers it. So again, the sector and so on of the client was the sporting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sporting, yes.
Sporting, yeah. So all the different products and services that they were delivering in Europe for sporting wares and apparel. So a very lovely case. We remember.
I do remember this one. It was in August, and I have to say this is one of the typical case we receive, because we have clients from the US, we have clients from Japan, and it's always difficult for them to start to trust someone when they start all this registration in Europe. And you did well, and for sure you can provide some time, but sometimes it can be longer, especially for Spain now those days. But the client is really happy. UK is already going on, and we hope to have good sales in 2023.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that. Okay, now we'll move on to our final case. So case number 4, here we're with a French client. We're in the fashion industry. The interesting one about this is that it was a client that's very big in wholesale, so very big in B2B, but going into the B2C. So D2C for this client was the first time. They acquired a brand and they were going to launch it for the first time and discover the beauty of selling to consumers directly. So we were asked to provide OSS. So for many of you on the webinar today, you may all know about the OSS. This is a new concept that was put in the European market in January 2021. It was to help the e-sellers, to help them be able to gather their VAT payments and have them collected and circulated, allocated by a central European tax authority. So OSS for one-stop shop, meaning that all of the VAT registration would go from one VAT number in Europe, and the VAT authority or the tax authority in that country that the client denominates and picks would allocate the VAT refunds to the different countries, to the different tax authorities. So it's a new concept. It's to make the administrative burden lighter for the e-seller. So this was the case we had for this client, and we had a few challenges, but not too many.
As you said, so it's their first time into B2C. It's new to them. They needed also a website design, and we were able to refer some of our partners also in this case. And they needed also integration for refunds.
Yeah, exactly. That was a bit of the challenge that we had. So we'll just go through the little steps here that we have on the next slide. So you'll see, again, the meeting took place here in July in France. So a French client, a large retailer in the fashion industry. So the scoping requirements were done. We had some very good first initial meeting and the kickoff with the client. We had all of the different people coming in from the teams in the client's companies. So the marketing people, the IT people, the accounting people, the treasury, and the finance manager, and so on. So a very hands-on approach was taken. We were able to give them the advisory service they needed, because this was a first for them. We gave them a weekly call, a weekly slot that was fixed, and everyone from the different teams was always on those calls, because this was important to make sure that we pulled it all in together within the time frame that we had, which was fairly challenging. So we did our usual steps then afterwards in terms of quoting.
The same process. So the client validates the code sent in August 2022. Then AVASK system generates automatically the LOE, letter of engagement, and then we invoice the client for payment. For rollout and assistance, we were able to fix weekly rollout meetings. The roadmap was shared with the client and agreed on this, and we also provided on-site training for the client.
Yeah. So on this case number 4, again, just to show you the delivery on promises. This happened thanks to the weekly meetings that we had. The participation at those weekly meetings was really well kept. Everybody enjoyed the meetings. It usually took about a half an hour, but we were able to follow the actions and see what was going on and see if we were actually going to meet the timeline. So we did have a little bit of IT issues. There were a problem on refunds. The website integration and so on needed extra coding, extra development work. So we did lose a bit of time on that. But again, everyone was really very positive. Everyone knew what was to be done. Everyone got on with the job, and we were able to deliver on time. So for us, the secret to happy client here is the momentum that we kept up. Also, the e-commerce ecosystem. We were really able to help this client introduce them to providers, integrators that we knew that were partnered with. So they really picked up on some of the advice and the consultancy that we gave them, and they found the right people, the right partners to be able to deliver with us, not just on the VAT and the OSS. What we did, we also brought other skills and people into this project. So yeah, so the brand is up and running and selling, and they're having a lot of success with their first adventure into the retail B2C sector. So happy to discover this one. So now let's just remind you who we are. So again, Christel, thank you today.
Thank you for having me.
Participating. Yeah. I think you'll agree like us on maybe one of the keynotes for today. What is it for you?
The keynote, I think it was nice to create this webinar to show different case study and to make sure that clients understand our strengths together. It was important for a digital agency like us to find a partner that we trust, because you don't want the clients to be it's an important subject where you have to make sure that we follow the law. And in Europe, you know, it's difficult with all these different countries and taxes. You have to make sure that people knows what they are doing. And I have to say again, thank you for your knowledge and the fact that the communication between your team and us is just great, and we can feel it.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Christel.
And now to Natalia, I think I'll let you also pull up some of the keynotes and so on, and maybe also just indicate a little bit of the other teams that we haven't really showcased here today, but just so that the attendees of the webinar can also be aware of the different teams that we do have in-house.
Yeah, thank you, Christel, for joining us. I mean, the partnership with e-Comas has been absolutely amazing. The clients are great for us. We really appreciate the partnership that we currently have. But with 2023 just around the corner, obviously there's going to be new changes, especially with Amazon. There's always constant changes, whether it's new warehouses. We've heard Belgium coming up, and other ones. So AVASK is always going to be up to date with any new information. So if anyone does need to contact us because of their particular client, then we can obviously assist and put them in contact with e-Comas for their account management and consulting. So, I mean, always up here to speak about, we spoke about OSS, there's Brexit that's always coming up in topic, there's EPR. We also have a customs department that can assist you with shipments. So if that's a struggle that you're having and you're a bit worried about sending your inventory, then please do contact us and we can help you on that sense. But I mean, we understand tax is not a topic that everyone would like to speak about. So having that helping hand is always great to have just available to speak to someone and ask those questions that you're always curious about. Shauna, I don't know if there's anything on your side that you'd like to comment as well.
No, we'd like to thank everyone for attending the webinar. There will be more. We will be producing, more of these live cases because they do help each and every one of us move forward and be learning from the experience and the positive feedback that we're getting from the clients. So again, to remember the importance of the ecosystem. AVASK does have a very diverse range of partners that we work with. So therefore, we can be of assistance. We are available for discussion. So you've got our contact details here. So please feel free to reach out. We can offer consultancy sessions to begin with in order to be able to help you situate exactly where you are with your expansion strategy, what needs to be done, and where we can fit in and help you with that. So feel free to use our contact details here, and we look forward very much to hearing from you. And we hope that you'll be able to join our next webinars. Again, we'll be doing them maybe in other languages. So for the non-English speakers, we will be providing webinars in multiple languages to go forward into the new year. So let's wrap up with a very, very Merry Christmas wish to everybody. May this season be a joyful one and a very, very positive one for the new year. So thank you all today for joining, and we hope you've enjoyed it. We hope it's been an enjoyable one for you all.
Thank you. And thank you, Christel, again.
Great. Thank you very much, Christel. Thank you all. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.